I tried to play golf whenever I could. I was never really good at it. In fact, it was pretty terrible. I started having pain in my left shoulder. I thought I'd just pulled a muscle in my shoulder, but the pain intensified. By that time, I could not swing a golf club.
David mentioned to me that he was having some shoulder pain while he was playing golf. We got the MRI, and unfortunately that day when I looked at it, I could obviously tell that he had a soft tissue sarcoma of his shoulder. I remember just getting a terrible pit in my stomach because this guy's a really close friend, and that's a tough thing to tell somebody.
I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. The chemo regimen was designed to lower the disease so that a bone marrow transplant could be done. The day before I was to go in for the bone marrow transplant, I saw my physician, and by that time I was having significant difficulty in walking and mobility, and they decided that I was not a good risk for a bone marrow transplant. That was the best way to improve survivability, and I felt like I'd let my friends and family down, not being able to move ahead with that procedure. My wife said when we got married, for better or worse, but never a nurse. And along the way, though, she had to say, for better or worse, I guess I'm a nurse. Because without her help and support, I surely couldn't have made it through some of the dark days when I just didn't feel like that I could go on.
One of my favorite stories was many years ago. We were attempting to start a genomics center at Rady Children's Hospital. And I can still remember David turning to me early on in the process after we had gotten through a couple of bumps saying, "Donald, we are going to birth this baby." And what that told me was we were going to make it happen come hell or high water. That's David Hale. He is a guy who gets things done.
I think if we could make people more aware of the importance of getting an early diagnosis, we could certainly impact the treatment of cancer. I know that if I had gone for a diagnosis earlier, I could have started the treatment, and it may have affected whether or not I could have gotten a bone marrow transplant.
When your physician says to get a test, get the test. Let's make sure that we don't miss cancers or other medical problems that can be treated. Early detection, early treatment is always better than the delay.
David comes with a wealth of knowledge, and there is something to say for the educated patient. That does not mean Dr. Google, but it does mean take the time to understand your diagnosis. While we are seeing the treatments extend patient survival, they're living longer without cancer. Right now, we still know that it's going to come back at some point. So the research that we are striving towards now is, how can we make this go away and never come back? And it's happening. And if we can narrow down the patient population that is most at risk for developing it, perhaps we can get a better understanding of how we can screen and therefore prevent.
I think people just assume American Cancer Society dedicates money to research and research only, but yet there's so much that goes into battling a cancer diagnosis, right? So you've got to get to a doctor. You've got to buy medications. You've got to be able to talk to individuals that have gone through the process to get an understanding of what your battle's going to be like. And I think those items that the American Cancer Society provides is very important to individuals to fight their cancer battle.
In order to continue to reduce the number of deaths from cancer and enhance the treatment, we have to support organizations like the American Cancer Society, who, through their mission, focuses on creating awareness, diagnosis, and treatment, and the research to support new drugs that will influence the treatment of cancer. So I would urge you, whenever you have the opportunity, to support the American Cancer Society in fulfilling its mission for those patients who either now or in the future will be affected by cancer.